I said I'm here now. I'm so sorry for the wait now. I said I'm here now. I'm so sorry for the wait now. I said I'm here now. I'm so sorry for the wait now. I said I'm here now. I'm so sorry for the wait now.
When I went to a bar, I was by myself. And my friends come up to talk to me, and I told them I just want to be by myself. So I got a full bar, and I'm by myself. That's how I knew how to deal with things.
I eventually got up to like 130 milligrams of methadone a day. And of course I started taking a little more because it wasn't working. And next thing you know, no matter how much I took, it just wasn't enough.
I had been living with an addictive husband for, I don't know, maybe a couple years when I, realized how bad his addiction was.
And I was the whole time using heroin, and then it kind of clicked in one day like, man, this ain't normal. I'm dying from one thing, killing myself from another.
We're all kind of dealing with some issues, but I dealt with it the wrong way, and I started off doing pills, and then I made my way to heroin.
I just thought, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? I know nothing but drugs.
People don't want to die from this. They don't want to die. They don't want to continue to have to use to maintain life. It's just where they found themselves.
When a person comes in the door, you meet the person where they're at. You meet them with what they want to do, and hopefully we can be helpful for them and their goals. It's not about what us and what we want.
Often crisis is what motivates people into a behavior change.
Allowing them to come in and see me and say, we can figure out what it is that you want to work on.
We don't want to be their only source of support. We want to, widen that network. I'll check on people through Facebook or through text messages. For example, a clinician that's not appropriate for them to do.
We do have a captive audience at times when they're in the backseat of our patrol cars, and that is a time where they recognize that they need help. And so the importance is being able to access that help.
They are very worried about stigma. They are afraid that anywhere that they go, they're going to be judged.
The roadblocks are explained to them in a way that they can understand that they can still get the help at WCA, and there's always a way to work that process out.
That first moment when you kind of realize that its recovery might start to work for somebody is when our participants come down here and realize that they are going to be respected.
The larger community needs to kind of change how we're looking at and assessing these problems. If we can't get them to a point where they feel respected, like they're going to be treated well, like they can almost dare to disclose things that they won't be in trouble for.
In harm reduction, what we're trying to do is provide people with some strategies and information and help so they can reduce the harm associated with, in our case, drug use.
Just because someone has an addiction doesn't mean that they're a bad person. It doesn't change who they love. It's just another version of who they love.
Not to cast blame, but marijuana was used in my household. They started to treat me for walking pneumonia, and while I was in the hospital dying from that thing, an ex-girlfriend was bringing me in heroin.
They put a pacemaker defibrillator in, and when I was healing, I actually had a viral infection, which did nerve damage on my left side.
My mom went in to have my little sister, my 4-year-old, and she went in for a C-section, and they messed up, and she passed away. She didn't make it through it. My sister did, but she didn't.
I lost my mother in 2005, and I came down with cancer in 2008, and I fell back to the alcohol, because that's what I knew from the military. I went to one of Rick's classes, and I realized my problem wasn't alcohol, it was my PTSD. That's when I caught on that there is help for me.
When I walked into Cossack, whoever was there that greeted me, got through to me with that book.
And finally I just realized that my daughter's more important
She saved me.
For the first 2 months of drug court, I kind of fought it. I resented having to be arrested for what I was arrested for. But finally one day, it just kind of, the tables just turned. I did a 180.
And finally I called my one and only sober friend in Jamestown, and he said, come on. So December 26, 2011, I moved to Jamestown and I kicked all the drugs I was on.
We don't want to go at them with heartbreak. We want to go at them with hope.
I think finding acceptance in the fact that, okay, one slip doesn't mean that you've lost everything that you've learned. It means that day you had a bad day. A bad day doesn't constitute a bad life, just a bad day. So we can pick up and keep moving.
Because it cannot be just about, did you drink today? Did you smoke today? Did you have that substance? When we only focus on sobriety and a person struggling to get all the way there, they can feel beaten down by not looking at all the rest of the areas in their life that are going well.
But I've seen people that have been stereotypically out of control, homeless addicts that most people would have given up on, and that they are in prominent positions in Chautauqua County and elsewhere today because they didn't give up that fight. And I talk about them being survivors, and that they keep on fighting the good fight, that they don't give up.
I don't think we're ever gonna get ahead of this epidemic if we continue to vilify the very people that we purport to help.
The main part of support that kept me in it and really actually drew me to it was the love. I honestly, truly didn't know love.
The first day I came down here, I come down to see where the AA meetings were, and Steve Cobb met me at the door, said, come on in, we got a meeting right now.
You just need somebody that cares about you.
She was actually our first guest. So this was 5 months ago. She calls us and she contacts us pretty regularly just to let us know how she's doing. We remain a part of her support circle. She's doing great and we love hearing from her.
In the early 2000s, I was a heroin addict. Sometimes they don't believe me even, and I can show them my scars and then they believe me. One person, the first time I met them, they did actually start crying because they couldn't believe that, that they could get to the point where I am today.
Most of the people that we are arresting are good people, and if we can help them to change the way they're thinking, help them make better choices, being healthy and productive members of society, that makes our job easier, as well as it's that sense of accomplishment out there.
We could just be sitting out by the Chautauqua talking and having a cup of coffee, and someone begins to talk about that thing that they've never talked about before to someone. That just blows me away. And at that point, I kind of realized like I'm doing something right.
I had an inmate tell me, he told me things within the first few minutes that he's never told anyone in his whole life. And I'm like, let's keep that going.
Coming down here and seeing some of the new guys, and they all do it. They all fight it at first, and eventually, you could tell when that light bulb goes on. They just have a different outlook on life, and they realize that, wow, recovery's not bad.
I like where I am right now. I'm gonna start school soon. I'm gonna do the RN program, so that's big. And I'm okay right now.
The kids down here need me, and it's about the kids now, not me. It feels great. It's my purpose now.
For somebody to reclaim themselves and to reclaim their health, it's an honor to be able to facilitate that with somebody and to kind of be a witness to the process.
We're here because we want to be here. I mean, we chose this, and we're not discouraged. We're going to keep doing it well.
And after 4 or 5 days of good nutrition, caring help, some rest, and some time and distance away from their drug, they look like a new person. And that's what gives me hope, just to see that. And I often say to them, you look like a new person. And to see the look on their face, how proud they are of that, that gives hope.
One thing I've found and truly, truly am blessed to have with Jamestown is the unity of churches.
We are seeing more people trying to break the stigma.
I think that there's hope for our community, and people just need to reach out.
It's hard. It's not easy at all. Like, it was very hard to get to where I am. I had to struggle and fight. Every part of my life has been changed now. You absolutely can do it.
Didn't have many friends, would rather just stay to myself. And coming down here, I have lots of friends, and I have good friends that aren't getting me in trouble.
To see families reunited are a huge accomplishment. Those are big ones.
And I'm just here, and I just want to bring hope to all others and just make known that there is life after death.
I said I'm here now. I'm so sorry for the rain now. I said I'm here now. I'm so sorry for the wait now. I said I'm here now. I'm so sorry for the rain now. I said I'm here now. I'm so sorry for the wait now.